Jesus Christ and his apostles in their prophecies foretold the signs we would see, indicating we are at the end of this age. These are like markers or signs on the highway telling us we're near the destination. And the signs are happening just like the Bible said. And now we have new volcano and earthquake warning signs that are pointing to their prophecies in the Holy Scriptures. There was another new earthquake in Guatemala. After they recently had earthquakes and a volcanic eruption at the Fuego volcano, where recent eruptions have killed 110 people, with hundreds still missing from the pyroclastic blast and ash. This new shaking was a 5.6 magnitude earthquake, with the epicenter emanating from near the Pacific coast, shaking Guatemala. And then now, Colombian authorities are reporting increased seismic activity under the Galeras volcano, one of Colombia's large volcanoes. And it's had 310 earthquakes, which have been reported in less than 48 hours. In fact, in the past 48 hours, with some of them reaching near 5.0 magnitudes. And they've been shaking municipalities and causing several landslides into homes, killing people when their house was crushed by falling rocks. And now in Japan, one of the most powerful earthquakes to rock the region in decades struck Osaka and neighboring areas today, leaving at least 4 people dead and more than 300 injured. The earthquake was a powerful 6.1 magnitude that happened this morning, killing or wounding people in their homes, or trapping them in transit on transportation as planes and trains were brought to a halt. Here's a clip that gives us a look at what happened.
An elderly man and a young girl were amongst at least 3 people killed when a powerful earthquake struck Osaka in western Japan on Monday morning. Buildings shook, factories stopped, train services were suspended and airports nearby were forced to close as the 6.1 magnitude quake damaged infrastructure across the city. On this occasion, no tsunami warning was triggered and nuclear plants in the region were said to be operating normally. People were moved out of buildings until they could be declared safe. Power outages and water main leaks were reported across the region. Osaka is Japan's second largest city, and like much of the country.
And just hours before this earthquake, the Sakurajima volcano in Japan also erupted, with a strong eruption sending ash miles into the sky above the crater and producing several pyroclastic flows. The eruption sent so much ash into the sky that it blocked out the sun, and towns surrounding the volcano reported ash raining down on them. Here's a video clip to give you a look at this. That was some amazing footage in that clip. And if you, as I'm sure you noticed, how that the ash, the eruption from that volcano, how it just blackened out the sky. And then there was that one area in the clip where you could just barely see the remnant of the sun, and then the huge ash cloud darkening all around that city. This eruption and these earthquakes are signs of the coming apocalyptic prophecy of Revelation. And it has great similarities with what the prophecy foretells in Revelation, the 6th chapter, that behold, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair. And it goes on to say that every island was moved out of its place. It seems this is foretelling that there will be great earthquakes and volcanoes with their ash clouds, just like the one that you saw in the video, that will fill the sky, and it will turn the sun dark and turn the sky dark with like black sackcloth filled with ashes. And it's going to be similar to what's happening now around the world in these countries that I was mentioning. But in that day, it's going to be even more global and more intense, with volcano and earthquake activity pulsing so strongly that islands will be geographically moved out of their current places on the world map. This will happen in the prophetic future. And now we're seeing these signs in country after country around the world with earthquakes and volcanoes. And right now there's still concerns yet in Hawaii, as the volcano there is still spewing red-hot rivers of fast-moving lava streaming out from Hawaii's volcano that has been erupting for weeks now. And even now there are concerns growing about the Yellowstone supervolcano, where recently there's been news stories about strange behavior of the geysers there. Yellowstone's largest geyser, called Steamboat, is puzzling scientists, since it has now started erupting again for the first time in years, with scientists unsure why all of a sudden this geyser is experiencing a string of eruptions that has not happened for decades. Across the world, there are new volcano and new earthquake signs that are happening, and they're showing that there are powers that belong only to God, and they are reminding us as warning signs on the highway to the destination of the prophecies that are coming to be fulfilled, and the need for every person to prepare for the coming day of the Lord. The signs of the last days prophecies point to the coming end of the age of human world government and the beautiful beginning of a new age for those biblically born again spiritually into the kingdom of God through Jesus Christ.